Good morning, everyone. Wanted to make this quick video to address a common issue that I see a lot of advertisers on Facebook and Instagram make time and time again. Anytime we get on a new client and I look into their ad accounts, the same issue is existing all the time. Those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jasim. I'm the founder of Creative Branding. We do meta advertising for e-commerce brands as well as service-based businesses, helping them get better results from their meta ad campaigns. So the issue that I wanted to discuss today is that oftentimes, if you're running ads for either your service based business or even your e commerce business, and you're stacking up creatives, a lot of creatives into one campaign or one ad set, you may notice oftentimes that one or two of the creatives are getting like 80% of the spend, while all the other creatives are left, starving and deprived of any spend, not performing. And a lot of people start believing that because those creatives are not strong enough, that's why they aren't getting any spend. Now, it's very important to understand what the criteria for the getting the spend from the Meta AI is. So what happens is Meta gives spend to those ads which are more engaging. Now people are stopping and looking at them, maybe they're liking and commenting on them, and there's a lot of engagement going on. However, engagement is not the only metric that convinces someone to, take out their card to buy your product, to give you money, or to go through your funnel, or sign up, or book in a strategy call, or a free trial, anything of that nature. Engagement is just the activity on the ad, so it doesn't define the intent. So what happens is at times you might see that a few of the ads or a couple of those ads are getting the majority of the spend while the rest of them are not, and people tend to assume that because those ads are not strong enough. However, the reality is that they are not even being given the chance to prove their worth, prove their value, and prove their performance. So if you are running your ads and you have, let's say, seven different creatives all stacked up into one ad set or one campaign, and you have $100 a day budget, and you're getting 80% of the spend is going to, let's say, two creatives in this scenario, and the rest of them are not, but the ones that are getting the spend, their return on ad spend, their ROAS, or their cost per purchase or cost per lead, is not even at a break even point. They are getting all the spend, they may be generating some results, some sales, but the results are not up to your standards. You're losing money on those ads, and you keep on launching new creatives in effort to, that if you might launch a better one this time, it might start taking some spend, start generating some results. But the thing is, sometimes you have to force things through. That's why the advertising agencies, advertisers, specialists, all of those exist, because it's very important to have certain manual aspects to meta advertising as well. So what you do is, so you have a scenario, seven different creatives running $100 a day, two of them getting spends, the results are not profitable, you're draining money every day, you're losing out on customers, your business is not making any money. Do this one small thing, and what that is that what you do is you take those seven creatives and you break them down into multiple ad sets. So you have still the same $100 a day budget, but you take each of that creative and have a separate ad set running for it, and let those ad set have a budget of $12 to $14 each. So you have one campaign, you have seven different ad sets, $12 to $14 each, and you have the same $100 a day spending. So what this does is it levels the playing field. It gives the same amount of spend to each creative, allowing it to have the chance to show its worth, show some kind of performance before making a hard and fast judgment on it whether if it's a good creative or not. So what you do is you have the same kind of budget across all of them. Now with the $12 to $14 a day budget, the budget is so low that you cannot start seeing some significant results or lots of sales super fast. But the key thing is that you start getting some data in, and data is critical. It is everything. So what you do is you analyze the first point of contact. Let's say you ran those ads, seven ad sets, 12 to 14 a day. You let them run 1 2 3 4 days. Then you start analyzing the first point of contact. Now I'm going to give the example of e-commerce. So in this case, you have the first point of contact, that is view content, and then you have add to carts. What you do is you analyze which of those ad sets with the single creative is getting the cheapest view content. Okay, getting the cheapest view content and subsequently the cheapest add to carts. And once you analyze them, you might start seeing that some of them are getting view contents under $1, some of them are even above $5. So you set some KPIs. For example, in this case, a view content under $1.5 is your KPI and an add to cart under $5 is your KPI. Any ad set with the single creative that delivers results above those KPIs, meaning more expensive than $1.5 for the view content and $5 for the add to cards, you just cut them off, you turn them off, you launch another ad set with a fresh new creative. Now you do this kind of test for 10 to 14 days and you will start seeing that you start getting a lot of ads which are well under KPI, and within this 10 to 14 days time period you will start seeing some sales as well. So after this time period of 2 weeks is done, what you do is you analyze which ads have the cheapest view content, cheapest add to cart, the cheapest cost per result, leads or purchases, and the highest ROAS. Now, if you keep doing this test, you start off with 7 creatives, but you are cutting off the creatives along as you go, and you start launching some new more. So this way you might end up testing out maybe even 20 different creatives, but from them you might identify your top 5 to 7 ones. Once this period is over, you have identified the best 5 to 7 ones. Now is the time you take them all, you consolidate them, run them on a CBO or an ABO, but with like a all creatives consolidated into one, and then set the $100 per day budget and let them run. So what you've done over here is you've isolated the top of the top creatives with the best return on ad spend, and now they are competing in an environment of winners. So what they do is they start performing even better. Now I've run these tests multiple times, and what I've always seen is that if initially I'd be getting like a 2x ROAS. After conducting all of this test and now we have consolidated it, our ROAS shoots to 5, 6, even 7x at times. So this is like a key one. It's very simple to understand, but it's something that is often overlooked, and I would highly recommend that you guys try it out. It takes some time. It takes like a week to 2 weeks, but in the end what you get is something that you can keep spending on, keep scaling up for months to come. So this is an excellent way to test out different creatives and give it a shot. Do let me know what your results are down in the comments, and any other tips and strategies that you guys would like to hear, just let me know. And happy scaling.